Google Local Service Ads is our webinar topic for today. We're going to talk about how you can get Google to guarantee your business. So I run Design Build Marketing. My name is Jake Marsh. We'll go into my background here in just a minute or two. But if we look at our agenda first, we're going to go through our approach to a comprehensive marketing strategy. We're going to go into the stats on local service ads and why you would want to pay attention today, our formula for running ads, and then how you can do that on your own. So this is a great platform for you to do if you're not ready to hire somebody yet. Great kind of DIY model. Lastly, we'll go into complementary tools and wrap up with some questions and answers. So attention, please. If you're a builder or remodeler and you want to get results, definitely pay attention. I will work to make this time valuable. I will not waste time. So I am very quick. So we'll keep it short and valuable. I'd recommend staying focused on this, but your time, so it's definitely your call. So who am I and why listen to me? So my name is Jake Marsh. Again, I'm the founder of Design Build Marketing. We work exclusively with builders and remodelers to nail their digital marketing and grow their business. So that involves quite a few different things, but we are essentially taking over marketing for companies so they can focus on what they do best, which is building and remodeling. So I have some case studies here, and this content will be available after in a replay, so you can come back to this, but great increase in conversions, traffic, phone calls, a lot of results that we're seeing today. We'll go into kind of where we're seeing the best results on the ad platforms. A lot of this is SEO as well, so we have a combination of things that we can do to drive business. But case studies will be available upon request as needed. So we'll go into our approach here quickly. We call it digital omnipresence. So omnipresence meaning we want to make you appear to be everywhere. In your market's eyes, we want you to be seen as the authority. We want you to be seen as someone who does a lot of business. And the way that we can give people that impression or help communicate that is to have you on Google, to have you on Facebook, to have you on Instagram, to have you on Google Local Service. All of these different places, we want to get you as much exposure as possible. So the more people see you, the more they trust you, the more they think that you are doing business in the community and in the marketplace. That is our goal. We have different programs, so not everyone touches all of these, but these are the things that we can do. And this is kind of our approach. If someone really wants to go after it, we want to make sure that they are omnipresent everywhere that we can be. So when we talk about accelerating growth, we kind of break this down into three categories. So we want to drive leads, maximize conversions, and then optimize the results. So dig in a little bit further here. So we're talking about driving leads. We're looking at primarily organic SEO, paid ads, and database. And so database, a little bit more, if that doesn't make sense, is really leveraging your database of past clients and maybe dead leads to go out and generate business from those people, whether that's referrals or bringing back leads that maybe didn't move forward at some point. So that's a great source of business. You already have that list of people. You don't need to go find new people. So we definitely want to leverage that in addition to the SEO and paid ad strategies. Maximizing conversions, there are several things that go into that. We don't want to go pay to find a bunch of new people if we can't convert them well. So we want to make sure that your website's performing well, very critical in today's marketplace. We need to make sure it is converting well with regards to what your call to action is and the way your pages are designed. Those are all critical. Reputation, of course, is absolutely a must in today's marketplace. And then automation. We want to make sure people get follow up quickly and consistently over time. So we do that through automation. And I'll give you a little bit more content on that automation piece a little later. And then optimize results. We want to stay on top of this. We want to make sure we know what we're spending, what our cost is per lead, how many leads are coming in, and then the return that we're getting on that business, right? We want to make sure that we're using the information at our fingertips to make good, informed business decisions. So what are the stats when it comes to local search? Why is this important? So why would you care? Most people I talk with are in this category. I'm buried. I'm up to my neck and up to my eyeballs in things I need to do with my jobs, with my clients, with my billing, my accounting, all of these things. It takes a lot to run a business. So why would you care about this platform? Well, to kind of go into that. In today's marketplace, finding new business is always important. It used to be that we would work to get you ranked in search results like this. If I look at best webinar topics, I get a list of some webinar providers and some other vendors who think this keyword is valuable. So they work to get ranked in the search engine results, right? So this is what we predominantly saw over time. And then at the bottom, you scroll down, you had kind of the organic results, right? At the top here, we have some ads, they're sponsored. And then we now see this little insert here where we can kind of elaborate, or we can expand, I should say, on some content to see a little bit more information. But generally speaking, this is what we saw over time for a very long time. And this is where we work to get people ranked. Now, in today's marketplace with local search, what we're looking at is a much different picture. And the reason this is critical is this is a results page from a home remodel near me. And I'm in the Denver area, so this is around me. But the stats are 9%, and there are some that are showing higher volume than 9%, but let's just go with 9% going to the Google Guaranteed at the top right, which is Google Local Service. And then 48% going to the map pack down here on the right at the bottom. That's 57% of search traffic is going to those two categories. That's a significant amount compared to what used to be just a list of links. So this is now the new format. And there are a couple things that I'll point out, but it's critical to play in this area, so to speak. So a couple things that I'll point out. Number one is that it is all based on a geography. So we want to match someone searching their location and the vendor, of course. If I'm in Denver, I don't want a remodeler in Chicago. So there's has to be a match there. So where we advertise you is important. And then the other critical thing here is the reviews are prominent. They are front and center. I can see how many reviews and I can see what the star rating is. So at the very, very top there, 4.3 with 44 reviews, that's a little questionable. Immunity Development, 5 stars, but only 5 reviews. Those are both a little bit questionable. Once I go down to Done Right, they're 4.6 with almost 700 reviews. So these are much more established, much better ratings. Next Home Improvements, 4.9 with almost 200 reviews. So you can quickly see, and you probably experience this when you're searching for somebody, but think about your consumers, your buyers, when they're searching, this is what they're going to see. So we want to make sure that we cover all of these bases. And when we look at a comprehensive plan, reviews and local search is a big part of that focus. But this is the reason that is critical today. Over 50%, 57 in our recent poll of stats, 57% of clicks are going to these results when someone searches for a local business. All right, so let's look at reasons why someone would click into those locations or on the page. Number one, reviews are prominent. 51% of people said that's why they clicked. And then number two, 17% for both page position and the guarantee. Those are both critical as well. Business name can help, and availability maybe too, but those are pretty insignificant. Pay per lead I have on here. This is more of a reason why you would want to work in this on this platform, is because you only pay per lead when they contact you. And then that is the local service version. When we look at the reason people are clicking into the map pack, and there's kind of a little bit of a difference there. Some markets, they don't have the guaranteed at the top if there aren't enough advertisers. The reason people click in the map pack would be reviews are prominent, 51% still. Page position now is a primary second position, and then organic result as well, right? So a lot of people actually want to see that it is not an ad. So that's another critical reason why people click in there. All right, so why paid ads in general, and then we'll go into why local service ads. As if the stats weren't enough, we'll give you some additional reasons to consider these as a very interesting and viable source to put your money. So the ad platforms are growing by the day. It seems like, of course, the top row here you're familiar with, but then LinkedIn, Pinterest, TikTok, all on and on and on. The new platforms are coming out. We can support most all of those. The two that we're seeing the best results on current day is the Meta platform for Facebook and Instagram, and the Google Local Service platform, which of course we're talking about today. So all of them have a use case, or all of them have value depending on what we're trying to accomplish, but those two are the best platforms today that we're seeing our builders and remodelers perform well on. So the reason that we benefit from paid ads. Some of the benefits for running ads are instant traffic. We can get leads in a very short time frame. Some of the efforts that we do, like SEO, that takes a longer period of time to generate results. So we want to balance those long-term strategies with a short-term strategies, and paid ads generate results quickly. So very valuable in that we have those results coming in quickly. Advanced targeting. So we have ability to be extremely granular in where we focus our ads. So that can be geography, of course, but we can narrow down to demographics like income, marital status, family status, interests, and hobbies. I mean, we can get extremely granular on where we want these ads placed in today's marketplace. So very helpful to have these advanced targeting capabilities. Measurable return. It's very easy with ads to document how much you spent, where they came from, and how many of them converted into paying customers. So it's very easy to look at a measurable return. And then budget control. We don't like to switch up budgets too much, but we can. If we want to pause ads, a lot of times our clients get too many ads. So, or excuse me, a lot of times our clients get too many leads. So they want to push pause at times. So that's true. Believe it or not, sometimes our clients get too many leads and they want to pause their ads. So we can pause an ad campaign if we're getting too much lead flow. We can dump more money into the budget if we need to kind of ramp up our lead flow, but we have control in the budget, which gives us a lot of flexibility in kind of levers to pull in terms of more leads or less leads. So then moving into the benefits of local service ads. And this kind of ties back to what we saw earlier, the reasons why these are kind of in line with what we saw, right? Visibility, they're prominently displayed on the page. That is the very, very top of the page when you look at search results. There's nothing above that. Google local service is the top category. Trust, what better way to get confidence from your potential buyers by getting Google to guarantee your work. And they do guarantee your work. They have, of course, very stringent requirements for how people can actually take them up on that guarantee. However, they are guaranteeing your work. It is a pay-per-lead model, which I mentioned in passing. Pay-per-lead, meaning they only charge you when customer contacts you, whether it's a phone call or a message. Someone seeing your ad does not matter. They only bill you when you are contacted. So it is a very clear and easy type of billing model. And then easy to manage. So it's a very simple platform to get started, and we'll go into kind of how to do that here in a couple more minutes. Speaking of, here's how to do it yourself. So if we look at the account setup step by step, so it's an easy platform, as I mentioned. If you understand online profiles and just a little bit about technology, it is pretty straightforward to set up and manage. And the reason why is you don't need complex strategies for bidding. You don't need fancy ad copy that really incentivizes somebody to click on your ad. There is no ad copy. You don't write any text. You don't put any photos. There is nothing in the ad. The only thing you do is you tell Google where you want to focus, how much you want to spend, and what services you want to provide. That's it. So there is no creative, there's no formulating ads, which makes it very easy to set up and manage. So the step-by-step to do this is create and optimize your profile. Your Google local service profile is linked to your Google business profile, but they are different. So they both need to be created and optimized and align with one another. We need to have consistent data across both of those platforms. And reviews do work across both platforms. So reviews on Google Business Profile populate to Google Local Service. You want to get verified. Verified with Google Business Profile is one thing. That is to show your office and your signage and your marketing materials at an office address. Verification for Google Local Service is a little bit more involved. This requires a background check. It requires licensing and insurance because, again, they are putting a guarantee on your work. So they are standing behind your work. So they want to make sure that you are insured, that you have all your licensing, and that you're, operating as a true, kind of verified business. So then you want to set your area and your budget. So you can pick by zip codes. You can select cities. You'll see a map. It will actually, color code where you're targeting. When you type in a city, it'll plop that onto the map. You have to plug in a couple zip codes and you'll see those drop in as well. So you can set your area and of course your budget, use a weekly budget, and then stay engaged. When you get leads in your portal, you want to go back and tell Google whether you booked that client or whether you downgraded them. So if they don't do business with you, you want to tell Google. That helps them. The more data they get, the better they can do their job. So they reward people who are active. So you want to stay engaged. You want to update their status. They also want to know that you are answering the phone. If they are sending you leads and you're not answering the phone or not responding to their messages, that is a major red flag for Google. So it is important to stay active. You can't just turn this on and let it run. It is straightforward and easy to manage, but it is important to do some of these fundamental basic things consistently over time. Okay, so best practices on Google local service ads, reviews, reviews, reviews. So like in our business, real estate, location, 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 reviews are the single biggest factor that is going to drive your results, good or bad, and your conversion rate. So this is people finding you, but also people converting. If I find your business and you have a 4.1, I'm going to question whether I want to do business with you. So it is important to have good quality reviews as well as a large number of reviews. So second thing here to pay attention to with Google local service is your budget. They don't typically use all of your budget, to be honest, which is kind of interesting. But they do have to evaluate all of the vendors who have a budget set in a certain area. So if your budget is larger than your competitor pool, you're going to get displayed more frequently. So having a large budget is actually helpful. Some people put an extremely high budget on there, knowing that Google is never going to use that amount, but that is something that you can do to control your exposure. The more you put on the line for a budget, the more they're going to place you in the results. Complete profile. Again, as I mentioned, we want to make sure that the Google business profile is correct and fully aligned with your Google local service profile. The right services, the right hours of operation, the address, all of those things should be correct, accurate, and across both profiles. And then business hours. One of the ways that you can get additional exposure is by expanding your business hours outside of what most other competitors are doing. So if everybody else in your local market is showing that they close at 5 p.m. and you're running until 7 or 8 p.m. taking phone calls, that's a 3-hour period where nobody else that closed at 5 o'clock is going to get that exposure. So it's a great opportunity to run before business hours or after business hours to get that additional exposure to people who may not be finding other competitors at that point. So reviews are so significant. I did want to include some additional kind of supporting data here around a review kind of process and campaign. So I do stress this with my clients because it is so critical. It's important to have a structured process in place. If you're just trying to remember to ask your clients for reviews, that gets to be very difficult. You're probably going to miss a large number of reviews that you could have gotten if you would have had a process in place to do this. So I would say to make sure you get a steady flow of reviews, put something in place. When you close a job, who reaches out to somebody? What's the message? How often do they follow up? It's important to make sure you have these things in place and kind of executing every time without question. So the things that are important, as you would imagine, the number of reviews, very important. Review score, also very important. The velocity and frequency. So how often are you getting reviews? I would rather have 1 review per week over a year, 52 weeks, rather than 50 reviews in 1 week, because we want to see that consistency over time. Google does not like that really dense number of reviews in a short period and then nothing else. So the frequency and how fast you're getting those is important. And then lastly, respond to reviews. It is important to respond not just to the negative reviews. You can respond to positive, definitely respond to the negative reviews. People are looking for negative reviews. Believe it or not, there's 90 some percent, over 90% look for a negative review. And the reason why is they sort of expect that. If you have all 5 stars, that's actually a little bit questionable. People start to be a little suspicious. Are those reviews real? Are they manufactured? So responding to negative reviews is helpful because it allows potential clients to see the types of things that go wrong and how you respond to those things. If you burn someone's house down because you didn't do electrical correctly, that's a major red flag. People are probably going to pass on doing business with you. If you just had an issue with an invoice and you corrected it and you documented that in your review response, that's pretty insignificant, and the people are probably going to be fine with that. But it's important to respond to both positive and negative reviews. And if you are doing some of this on your own, there are platforms that will help you manage the reputation kind of review requests. It is important to do multiple requests over a period of time. Most people don't do it right away, and then they forget oftentimes. So these platforms will allow you to put your clients in there. It will contact them over a set period of time with specific messages asking them to provide a review. So they are great at making sure that you capitalize on the opportunity and get as many reviews as possible. Okay, so we can go into a roadmap quickly. A roadmap being how do we help our clients when they come on board with us? What steps do we take? So when we bring a client on board, there are a couple things that we do right away. We mentioned search engine, we mentioned ads, those are important. The first thing we do though, is we want to put a CRM in place. We want to get all of your past leads and all of your past clients uploaded into the system. And the reason why is we want to make sure that we have these processes in place. So when new leads come in, they're getting communicated with quickly and then over a period of time. And we also want to capitalize on that past business. We want to ask for referrals. We want to get reviews from people that we may not have asked for at the beginning. And we also want to look at dead leads and try and revitalize any of those that may have not moved forward with you at some point. This is taking advantage of your gold mine. You are sitting on a gold mine. If you have a list of clients and dead leads, there is opportunity in that list. So we deploy the CRM, and then we look at dead lead revival, which is past leads that maybe went with someone else and didn't have a good experience or just kind of paused their job. Let's reach out to them and find out who's still in the market and needs service. Referral program, let's solicit referrals from your past clients, and then a review campaign to go back and get reviews from people that you might have missed. So these are immediate things we do to take advantage of the assets that you already have. Then we go look for new clients. So we want to go look at Facebook and Instagram and Google Local Service. As we mentioned, those are ad platforms that deliver results quickly. And then the search engine optimization to get you ranked in the organic results as well as the map pack results. So that's kind of our roadmap for how we get started. We can get clients off the ground and up and running within usually 2 to 3 weeks. And then at months 1, 2, and 3, boy, things really start to take off and really pick up momentum. So let's go into the tale of two builders. So I'll give a scenario here that kind of illustrates the difference between maybe haphazard or kind of piecemeal marketing. So when I say that, I mean, let's go run an ad campaign over here, and then later let's go ask a couple people for referrals, and then maybe tomorrow I'm going to ask one client for a review, and just kind of things here and there, and there's not really a structured process in place versus someone who looks at their marketing as a comprehensive effort. They want all of these things to function together in support of each other, because there are a lot of components that we focus on with our clients, and we'll illustrate the difference between the two. Because what happens is most people they're missing some leads. And when there aren't many leads coming in, it's kind of not a big deal. But when I start delivering leads to them, this is what it turns into. If they don't have processes in place, all sorts of money is falling through the cracks. We are wasting time, energy, and money. So I call it the leaky funnel. So the leaky funnel here is, leads falling through the cracks. We want them to progress down the funnel. People seeing your website, your social media, giving contact information and becoming leads. We want them to turn into bids and then, of course, into jobs. But if things are not done correctly, they're going to fall through the cracks at different stages. So if we look at a buyer's journey, we will have people that are searching and they're going to find you through some way. At some point, they may provide contact information. And then further down the road, most of them will make a decision. Some won't do anything, some will choose a vendor. But there are a lot of points in between here that we're going to dig into really quickly. The critical messages here: weak points in your process create leaks in the funnel where you're losing leads, AKA losing money. So we don't want to waste money from lack of process and structure. So that's what we'll dig into here. As we look at this, after someone finds you, if they see your ad, they're probably going to go to Google and check out your reviews. Do you have 2 reviews and maybe a 5.0, but only 2? Or do you have 50 reviews, but you have a 3.8? Neither of those is good. So they're going to go to Google. They're going to check your reviews. We need high quality reviews and we need a large number of reviews. They're going to look at Facebook. Do you have consistent posts? Do you have good quality work? Or do you just have some mobile photos here and there and, posts every couple months? They're going to look at your website, critical that it performs well. You may even look at LinkedIn and kind of see how you're representing yourself on LinkedIn. So those are all things that are going to happen before they contact you. Now, I have found the business and I've actually seen enough about you that I trust you. And I'm gonna sign up on your website for a newsletter or to set up an introductory call. Critical to contact them within 5 minutes. There are a lot of stats behind this, and I have more content on why and how to go about this, but contacting them within 5 minutes rather than waiting 30 minutes, you are 100 times more likely to contact them if it's less than 5 minutes. We want to make at least 7 contacts, not 1, not 2. We need to make sure we're contacting them enough times to make sure we're getting a hold of them and converting as many as possible. And then we want to follow up over a long period of time. Not everyone's ready right away. So we need to make sure that we're following up over time. Every one of these places is an area, could be a leak in your funnel where you are losing money. So again, as we talk about a comprehensive strategy, this is what we want to do. We want to make sure that we have a solid, strong foundation in place so that nobody falls through the cracks. And then here is our tale of 2 builders. Small improvements make a big impact. So we're looking at Builder Bob and Builder Bill. So Builder Bill is here, and he has 20,000 visitors with a 5% conversion rate to leads. So 20,000 visitors to the website. A lead is someone who provides their information. So out of 20,000, 1,000 people put up their hand and they submit a form and they say hi, and you start a conversation with them as a lead. 10% of those leads for Bill convert to bids. So out of 1,000, 100 bids. And then out of those 100 bids, we convert 20% to jobs. We're going to go with the conservative number here. Most people are 30 or 40%, but in that range. Out of the 20,000 visitors, we boil down to 20 jobs. So I can't help in all of these categories, but I can in the top 2. The efforts that we drive are getting you more visitors and then converting those to leads and those leads to bids. Those are the things that we support with. So if we look at how we can adjust the dials and the knobs, the levers we can pull, we can change the percentage on the top and the second one. So as we look at changing 5% to 8% and 10% to 13%, that small adjustment has a significant impact in the number of jobs. Now 20,000 visitors going down to 1,600 leads instead of 1,000 leads. Significant jump. Out of those, we're going to 13%, now going to a bid, converting to a bid. That goes 208 bids instead of 100 bids. So small adjustments in the percentages lead to big improvements. And I'm not doing anything with the jobs. I'm not going to help you price your jobs. I'm not going to help you with your sales. I'm going to get you more leads, and I'm going to get you converting more of those leads into bids and appointments. So that over doubles the number of jobs that we're getting for Builder Bob as opposed to Builder Bill. So significant opportunity to make sure that we're making the most of our investment in marketing. So that's the reason that we focus so heavily on a comprehensive approach, because this has such a big impact for our clients. So let's go into tools and resources. We do make available some things that are complementary, that are available to you. Of course, we would love to work with as many clients as possible, but that's not feasible for everybody. There's not a fit for everybody. So we are absolutely happy to provide resources and provide assistance wherever we can. We're not just here to make money. We're here to help builders grow and succeed in their businesses. So the resources that we have available for you on Ultimate Marketing Checklist, that's a great resource for you to kind of have just a one-stop shop there. We have a marketing ebook for builders and remodelers, which goes into some more detail. And then lastly, a full marketing audit. So here you can see the checklist that I mentioned. So super valuable. It's a couple pages long. The ebook is many more pages long, of course, much more content, kind of more thorough in terms of what we talk about with the marketing plan. And then lastly, the marketing audit. I will go do a thorough audit of your social media profiles, your website performance, your position in the search results and the traffic that's coming from that. All of these things I can kind of take a look at and give you a current state. And then also, just as importantly, give you areas of opportunity where you can go take action. Now, this is a complimentary offer. This is not billable. There's of course no expectation that you have to do business. I would love to do business with you if there's a fit, but either way, you will leave this marketing audit conversation with some valuable insights into what you can do today. So that covers our content today. So Google Local Service Ads is a very strong platform in today's marketplace for the reasons we talked about. It's a pay-per-lead model, so you only pay when someone contacts you. Very easy to manage. There's not a lot that goes into it. You still have a fair amount of control, so that is ideal. And then lastly, most importantly, is the position in the search results for local businesses. You are at the very top of the page. Your reviews are prominent, so people can see that you're getting a rating. And then lastly, you have Google's guarantee posted right there beside your business name. So hopefully you found the content valuable. We'll go into question and answers here. If anyone has questions, by all means, post those in the Q&A or chat conversation here.